The legend of La Llorona revolves around the specter of a woman who wanders through different places, near rivers, lakes, towns and cities, lamenting the crime she has committed, murdering her children. This spectrum is part of the cultural identity of Latin America. The legend of La Llorona has managed to cross the barrier of time and space, giving rise to different versions, depending on the geographical location.
Capybara refers to a legendary cryptid, which is described as a being that attacks animals of different species in livestock or rural areas. The myth originated in Puerto Rico in 1995, and since then various alleged sightings have been reported in places as far away from the island in America, and even from countries outside the American continent, such as Spain, the Philippines and Russia. Most sighting reports come from North America such as Mexico and in countries such as Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, El Salvador, Ecuador, Honduras, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Uruguay, Venezuela and some areas of the southern United States. The name comes from the supposed hematophagous habits of the creature, which is believed to attack domestic animals, especially goats, sucking all the blood from the animal's body. Physical descriptions of the creature vary, but it is commonly described as a heavy creature, about the size of a small bear and with a row of spines stretching from the neck to the base of the tail. 2-3. Say that goblins live in places where there are godwas, very tall trees and distant farms. Those who have seen it say that to scare away the goblins, it is necessary to play a well-tempered teckel, instrument similar to the guitar, to the sound of the cows they call. Legend says that a man named Pantoja, somewhere in Colombia, had 2 daughters whom the elf chased and did not let sleep. They say that they felt a man who sat next to them and pinched them, touched them. But they turned on the light, and there was no one. Then, the village priest arrived and they said to him, "Father, imagine that someone is persecuting us." The priest told them to confess and that he would then give them communion. That same day, at night he bid them and did not let them sleep. As they say, the situation with the character worsened. Then, a neighbor of theirs gave them the solution to their problem. He told them about the teckel and they told their dad to get one so they could leave it ready for the night, which was almost here. So they left it on a table, in the women's room. At night, the character arrived and saw the treble that was ringing. Later, curiously, the treble continued to sound. The women came into the room, and no one was touching him. They approached the teckel, and it remained silent. They didn't see anyone. Dawn arrived and the treble stopped ringing. He was no longer on the table where the women had left him. From then on, the elf never returned. They also say that the elf was one of God's favorite angels. Since he misbehaved, he then sent him to hell. While in heaven, the elf was one of the angels who played the harp. That is why to catch it and stop its antics, you have to leave a well-tempered teckel. They say that when the elf falls in love with a girl, he comes into the house to bother her. Throw stones at the house as if it were raining with cleds. They also say that he invites children to play with him in the middle of the forest until late at night. When parents find their child, they find him scratched, dirty, very hungry, feverish and with allergies all over his body.